It has been 14 years since that infamous day. Since then, our country has been more united than ever. Every year we come together as a nation to remember the past and all that we stand for. The Eagles seem to be on a roll these past 2 weeks. Can they continue to keep the momentum rolling against a tough Highland Park team this Saturday at Cowboy Stadium? Not all of us were there on that fateful day in 2001. Today in studio we have firefighter paramedic Marty Neville to give us her insight on that day. As we head into our traditional red, white, and blue pep rally, we take a look back at last week's Western theme. Today, Thursday, September 10th on Eagle Nation News.
From Prosper High School, this is Eagle Nation News with Austin Garcia, Ben Fein, and Mackenzie Hamilton.
Good morning, Prosper, and welcome back to Eagle Nation News. I'm Austin Garcia, and I'm joined by Mackenzie Hamilton and Ben Fein. And today we're going to be discussing the events of September 11, 2001, and how it affected all of us. Now, Ben, walk me through your day on that September day.
Yeah, I don't think I can speak for everyone when I say this, but I personally, I remember where I was when that happened. I was actually at the park with my dad, and I was just playing with him, just me and him, and I remember him getting a phone call. I vaguely remember that, and after that, his demeanor completely changed. He was really serious, and we had to go. And me being a 4-year-old kid, I had no idea. I was upset. I was like, hey, I want to stay here and play. But now, looking back on it, I think I can really grasp why he was scared for our safety.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. I was 3 years old. My sister was 4. We were both at daycare. And my mom went into work that morning, and she worked at the behind the Dallas World Trade Center. So obviously they evacuated everyone for safety reasons because no one knew what was going to happen next. So after she got evacuated, she came and picked my sister and I up, and we went home. And I remember sitting on the couch just watching the news and watching the unfolding of the events. And I remember looking up at my mom, and she was crying, and she was sad, and I didn't really understand why. But now, obviously, I know what happened. I know why she was sad. I completely understand it.
Yeah, like both of you guys touched on, we were so young when this happened, but it's so important for us to remember this day. This week I got to sit down with American Airlines pilot Kent Burkett and also my dad, Mike Hamilton, who was on the first flight after 9/11, and they kind of just walked me through the aftermaths of these events, and it was cool to hear their story of how the nation really united and stood together.
And you talked about how important it was too. And the freshman class, this year's freshman class, were, if not born, they were just born that year.
Exactly.
And even they know how important of a day September 11th, 2001 was,
Even though 9/11 left a wake of destruction, the United States was able to stand together as a nation and unite.
On September 11, 2001, thousands of innocent Americans lost their lives to an act of terrorism. A vicious act intended to weaken the United States and spread fear throughout the nation had an opposite effect on the country, though.
Uniting, I think right away, what happened was the first responders. You saw what they were doing. They were putting their lives on the line the day of the attack and then afterwards. And then it all culminated, I believe, when President Bush showed up to Ground Zero.
More united and patriotic than ever, the United States was ready to fight back.
When President Bush, acknowledged the war on terrorism, then everybody had to go to war.
While efforts were being made against terrorism outside of the country, President Bush had a plan on how to help lift the spirits of the Americans.
President Bush used baseball to try to get the country back to normalcy. The idea was that we were in the middle of the season. There were some pennant races going on. It was September, so there was about 2 to 3 weeks left, and he wanted the country to feel that we were getting back to normalcy.
America as a nation was able to push through these hard times, but it's still imperative to honor our loved ones and heroes lost on this tragic day.
Don't stop remembering. A lot of people died that day. And it's really important for us as a nation to remember that.
We need to remember how we held our first responders up as heroes then and continue to hold them up now.
Reporting for Eagle Nation News, I'm Mackenzie Hamilton.
Coming up after the break, Truett Williams is going to give us a preview on the Little Giants of Highland Park. We'll sit down in studio with Marty Neville, and we'll check out a little bit of last week's pep rally.
American girls and American guys will always stand up and salute. We'll always.
When you're wearing red, white, and blue this Friday, remember, they aren't just colors. They're everything we stand for in the USA. Freedom, unity, and of course, the Eagles. Because we aren't just Prosper, we are America, and we are one.
Oftentimes when discussing 9/11, the first responders and firefighters from around the country are often regarded to with the utmost respect, and that stands no different in Miss Marty Neville's case. Miss Neville, thank you for joining us today.
My pleasure.
Now, you got to experience the events live, so just kind of walk me through your first response and your immediate reactions.
It was one of those flashbulb moments where it was a significant event where time just kind of stopped and you remember very clearly what happened. On that day, I happened to be attending class at SMU, and the class was canceled, and we just sat in the classroom and watched the events unfold on television.
And now the terrorist goal was kind of to cripple us as a nation, and even though it left us with a pretty big black eye, if you will, we kind of had the opposite effect, and we kind of united. So kind of take me through what that was like.
It was frightening at first as you watched everything unfold, but then we did unite. We came together as a country, and we took the vow not to hopefully or allow that to happen again. The motto was adopted to never forget, and we've done that, especially in the fire service. We memorialize the events that took place on 9/11.
Now, you said you were in college the time 9/11 took place, so did this affect your career choice?
Definitely, it definitely impacted it. I chose to be a firefighter to not only protect and serve, do the events that took place, but the fire service is one that is rich with traditions, lots of spirit, just like you all here at Prosper High School. We definitely, like I said, memorialize the events that took place on 9/11, and we hope that no one will ever forget.
Now, does Prosper as a town do anything to remember those events?
We do, actually. We're having a service tomorrow at Frontier Park from 9 to 9:30 where we will walk through the events that took place.
Perfect. Well, thank you for your service again, Miss Neville.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Now let's head over to Truett Williams with sports.
This Saturday at 11 a.m., the Eagles will take on Highland Park at Cowboy Stadium to conclude pre-district play. After suffering a tough loss to the Scots last year, we can expect our Eagles to come out with a chip on their shoulders and something to prove. The Scots football team graduated 17 starters from their 2014-2015 team, meaning that the team we'll be seeing on Saturday will look very different from last season, except for their starting running back, Stephen Deeb. Deeb led the Scots last year in rushing and looks to repeat that success his senior season. After an impressive start to this year, he will be a great test for our strong defense. This past Friday, Highland Park suffered their first home loss since 1998 to Pulaski Academy by the score of 40-13, snapping their 84 home game win streak. With the Eagles feeling hot after their 2-0 start and a 29-14 dub over 6A Justin Northwest, we can expect an intense game with a lot of action this Saturday at AT&T Stadium. For Eagle Nation News, I'm Truett Williams.
Now let's check out last week's Western Pep Rally Take 2. Let's try this again. We'll be right back after this short break.
What's up, Eagle Nation? I'm Brady Powers, back with the weather for you guys. We're looking at a slightly colder forecast for you guys with lower temperatures. Thursday, we're looking at a partly cloudy day with a high of 91 degrees and a low of 72. Friday, we have a mostly sunny day, which is bad because, as most of you know, I burn quite easily. We got a high of 88 degrees and a low of 62 degrees for Friday, and even cooler temperatures roll around Saturday to give us a high of 82, and we crawl into the 50s later that night with a low of 59 degrees with a 20% chance of rain. Overall, these next couple of days, you should expect colder temperatures heading into good old Prosper, Texas. Well, that's the weather around you. With your weather update, I'm Brady Powers, and I bring the thunder?
Before we go, here are a few announcements. Bowling tryouts are coming up in October. There will be an orientation meeting on September 21st here at the high school in room 2017 at 7 p.m.
If you are a new student who would like to level down from an AP or pre-AP course to an on-level course, you can begin that process tomorrow. The form will be on the PHS website under guidance until Tuesday, September 15th at 5 o'clock p.m. No elective changes will be made.
Here's a couple of meetings for students in our World Languages program. If you're a member of the Spanish Club, you will have your first meeting Wednesday, September 16th after school in room 1128. Snacks will be provided. In addition, there's a new Mandarin Language Club. They will meet Monday through Wednesday after school in room 1146. All days are optional.
Are you a new student to Prosper ISD this year? If you are new to the ever-growing Prosper ISD this year, Prosper High School would like to help you get involved and get connected and build relationships on the campus. Monday after school, September 14th, from 4 to 6 in the cafeteria. The school will host a new student social. All students new to Prosper ISD are invited and encouraged to attend. Student leadership team and mentors will be on hand to facilitate the activities. If you are normally a bus rider and need a ride to the school administration will assist. Please RSVP today to Miss Mueller in the AP's office before tomorrow morning.
Now, Ben Mackenzie, let me ask you guys something. Tomorrow is obviously the Red, White, and Blue Pep Rally. What do you plan on wearing?
You know, I've gone pretty funny the last couple weeks. I went with the jorts in the Western Pep Rally. I went with the youth-size T-shirt and the Jurassic theme. I think I'm gonna be a little bit more serious this week. You know, just support our colors and wear some red, white, and blue.
Yeah, I got the school shirt, so I'm gonna be sporting that probably.
I can't decide if I want to wear my, that Eagle shirt that I have that I wore for the first game, or if
I have to ask, how many shirts are you gonna wear tomorrow so you don't sweat through them?
I'm obviously gonna have to wear probably about 3 or 4 undershirts.
Yeah, I understand.
I have a couple wardrobe changes in there.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. Paper towels in my back pocket, like always.
You know I got you.
Well, Prosper, that's the end of the show. For those of you who risked and sacrificed their lives on that day and the days after, and continue to do so across seas and here on the home front, we here at Eagle Nation News would just like to say thank you. We know without you guys, we wouldn't be able to be sitting here right now and talking in the safety of our school. So thank you again. For Eagle Nation News, I'm Austin Garcia.
I'm Mackenzie Hamilton.
And I'm Ben Fein.
With that said, live long in America.